All right, we are live. I know we're live a little early tonight. That's okay. It's all right. So we are gonna be back working on this guy tonight. Hope everybody had a good day. Week is starting to wind down if you work a traditional week. With it being Thursday. So we are going to be back to working on our tissue paper sunrise today. And I did get some more volume of paper prepped because I really did not believe I had enough of this color. I think I did a little bit more of this color too, just in the hopes of, you know, ass coverage. So I'm going to take some tacky glue here that I've put in my little cup that I'm reusing here. And I'm going to start to spread that out here like I've said before. We discussed it last week. You can kind of get away with Elmer's. Might be able to get away with doing Mod Podge, but I have had the most success with the least amount of supply fighting, because it's never fun when your supplies are fighting with you with the tacky glue. Alright, so I don't want to go too far out. So I've got this old paintbrush that's kind of beat up. I never want to get rid of my brushes unless they're falling apart, and because I never know if I'm going to need them for something that they're going to get even more beat up with. And spreading out glue is one of those cases. As long as it's not like losing hair, then I can use it for glue. It's not a big deal. But, you know, you still want to make sure that you rinse the glue out of your brush. Because if you don't, then your brush is going to become quickly unusable. And I've got a handy dandy toothpick here. Not the same one from last week. Or whenever we worked on this last. I guess the week before last. I don't remember when we were last working on this guy. Now, because this section, it's good and dry. Pretty solid. I'm going to use that to push these pieces up against, as well as down into the glue. I want to make sure I get them like shoved up against the other piece pretty good there. So that way we don't have any gaps or anything. Or if we do have a gap, it's extremely minimal. You're going to want to wipe your toothpick off as you go, or whatever you're using to help you position everything, because it will get glue on it. And it doesn't take a whole lot of glue to try to grab the tissue paper, at least with as far as the tacky glue is concerned. That's why I'm constantly grabbing it and trying to wipe it off there. I learned that from working on the super big piece. I mean, I kind of knew it from working on smaller pieces before I did that really big one, but it definitely became apparent that that was a must on that project. And you also want to push down because, you know, sometimes just sliding against, you can start to slide pieces underneath of themselves. And not exactly what we want to do here. So while sliding against is important, you want to also make sure you're coming back and pushing down. Just to make sure everybody is good and attached. And settled in there. And there may be instances where you are probably going to have to trim, and that's fine. Just grab your scissors. And just kind of carefully like eye up the measurement that you need. And you can just snip it because it's just tissue paper. They are tiny pieces of tissue paper though, so you do want to be careful that you don't get yourself in the process. Because, you know, anything is possible. Am I speaking from experience? Maybe. Maybe. So again, like I don't want a sea of glue in here, but I do need enough. It's like after I know what color is going here, I don't want the glue so thin that I can definitively see the color of what it's supposed to be. Like I want it to look white right here. So that way I know I've got enough glue down. And sometimes you want to put it on there a little bit thicker than you think you need, just to give you work time. Especially if it is super warm in the room that you are working in. Or if you've got a fan on, you know, it will affect how slow or fast of a dry time you're going to have. Just kind of the nature of it. Just the way it goes. Okay. Oh, that one's a little long. Right there. Probably could have trimmed that a little bit. Alright. And sometimes, especially if you've prepped your paper ahead of time and we're trying to multitask, so you only did it with one hand while the other hand was editing video, you might need to just retighten your paper a bit. Okay. Sorry, this guy's gonna move around a little bit on me here since he's a smaller painting. Don't really have the weight of a heavier canvas to keep it from sliding around on me. And I like to keep hitting it, apparently. Okay. Alright, I don't know how far we'll get tonight. We will see how things go. I am hoping that we at least can maybe start the sun tonight. We'll see. Apparently, it depends also on if I need to twist some more paper as we go. I'm not real sure if I have enough of this like orangey coral bit, orangey pinky guy here. Just not sure. Now that I'm sitting here and I was like, I don't think there was that much in that bag, and now I'm like calling into question if I actually have enough of it. And I don't know. Kind of depends. As with everything, right? Alright. I'm gonna turn this guy sideways. Yes, I know, I'm forever turning things the way they're not supposed to be. That's alright. I mean, you got to see it a few minutes in the direction it's supposed to end up in. Okay, it's that section. I'm gonna do, and then the other section I will do singularly. Just to make sure I've got enough work time, and I am drying this brush after I'm done rinsing it, just to make sure I got all the water out of it. because we don't want it have a bunch of water in there. That's not really gonna help us. At this point. Alright. Now this is tissue paper. So it is it is by default kind of delicate. So, I mean, you still want to be a little bit careful. However, you know, doing our little paper snake twisties to it to get these little strips going here from its square shape, it does help with its structural integrity a bit more. It does make it a little bit I don't want to say usable, a little bit more durable, but maybe a little more sturdy, because you know you've made it a bit thicker now from its original piece that we started with. But if you get it wet with water, it will kind of turn into a pile of mush. So the tacky glue isn't super wet, so we don't have to be too terribly concerned with it disintegrating the paper. It didn't really, the Elmer's school glue, the time or two that I've used it, it didn't like completely turn the paper to mush. It is a lot more wet and a lot runnier than the tacky glue. But for the Elmer's, I also did a much thinner coat. Than I'm using with the tacky glue. And I also worked in a little bit smaller sections with that. So like the Elmer's, I would probably have it a lot thinner going on here where I could see the color shade a lot easier through the glue than necessarily have with the tacky here. Especially if you're going to start getting into like some fancy shapes and stuff. So if you're using that, you're gonna have to hold it in place for a little bit. Just the slightest bit of glue residue on my finger there, and it was trying to pull the paper up. Just trying to figure out if I really needed another piece there. Maybe I don't. That's probably alright. We're not done with this color yet, though. Or are we? Actually, we might be. We might be all done with that color. Kind of squish some of the extra air out of that. Okay. Heck is that? I just wiped this down before we started. Okay. So we can come back into our glue and start adding in the next bit here. And like depending on how intricate your design is, it might not take that long to get through. And you can go as detailed or as simple as you want. That's really gonna be up to you and the color of tissue papers that you can get your hands on. I got most of mine through Amazon. And like I said, this is all pretty much leftover paper from my big tissue paper project that I did. And some of the colors that I needed came in like multi-packs of colors. It was just cheaper to buy the multi-pack. So, I didn't really necessarily use all of the colors that I had for that project. Then I still cut every single sheet that I purchased for that project in mind into little squares. Yes, I did. I did not, though, prep them all ahead of time. I prepped them as I realized what colors I was going to end up fully using. Because that, I'd still be sitting here prepping tissue paper. I still wouldn't have even started working on it yet if that was the case. Like I said, this is all leftover paper from that project. I was like, you know, I really should do something with that leftover paper instead of it just sitting there. taking up space. So we are gonna do this. So I figured out what we're gonna do for our next needle felt. We're actually not going to do a broad brassy one on the next one. I actually want to do another of the same size one that we just did. What was it, 6 by 12 or something? And we're gonna do a flamingo-y guy. I don't think we've actually needle felted a flamingo-y guy yet. I don't know how that happened. But the more I was thinking about it, the more that seems like a bit of a travesty. I kind of have an idea of the pose that I want to use. I just have to go through my photos, see if I have one. If I don't, we'll wing it. We'll figure it out. You need help?
Nope.
All right.
Being meowed at.
I see that.
You're a chatty kid.
Isn't he, though? Nobody else. Well, maybe Cow. But I still think he meows more than anybody. I swear he just likes the sound of his own meow. So if your piece of paper sort of extends past where your glue is, you can either trim it or you can run with it and just add a little bit more glue in that section when you get back to your glue to attempt to tack that spot down a bit. That's gonna come down to personal preference, really. I've done both. Kind of depends on a couple of things. If it's sitting in like a good sized puddle of glue, sometimes I'll use the wetness of the glue to my advantage to try to scrunch it in there a little bit tighter and kind of shove it that way to try to shorten it. Other times I will actually snip it if I know I'm going to be using the other bit that's getting snipped. Well, that's a new one. Alright, give me 1 second here. Welcome to my band list. Alright. So it really just kind of depends on what you want to do. Wrong?
Well, she's just asking for things.
Okay. So let's get our next bit kind of popped into here. As best as we can. It's hopefully without making too much of a mess. But yeah, I really like this glue because it gives me some work time. And look, this is drying clear already back here. It's great. Not sponsored whatsoever. Absolutely not. Okay. We don't have any sponsors. Any sponsorships right now. Maybe someday. All right. We're almost through this section too. So, I mean, the sections are so small on this one, it is going to go quick. So we've got that benefit. I tell you what, though, I am tired today. Didn't get hardly anything done today that I wanted to because I just didn't have the spare energy to deal with it. Husband's back is starting to feel a little bit better. So he was a little bit more mobile today. But I did a lot yesterday, and then he had a rough night last night with his anxiety and whatnot, so I was trying to stay awake till he came to bed. I don't think I managed to fall asleep until I think it was going on 4. And then I think I woke up a couple of times. And I think the last time I woke up, he was up. I was like, oh God, what time is it? He's like, 9:30-ish, 10 o'clock. Might have been closer to 10:30. I was like, well, need to drag my ass out of bed. Because we got things to do. Or at least I do. So I did start to get some work done on a painting sketch today. It's still very much in the figuring out how I want it to look process. This is not exactly how I wanted it to look. I'm digging the fish in the middle. But I was originally thinking like not that much space in between, and I just wasn't it wasn't coming out sketch-wise how I was envisioning it in my head. But at the same time, it's definitely mine. I definitely drew that. And maybe the other thing that I have in my head just isn't meant to be the way I'm seeing it, so I'm gonna kind of see this one through, see how we do, see how we go. Sort of scenario here. So are you actually grabbing? Or are you gonna try to lift up? So I'm trying to get the little glue bits off of my fingers here. That is one downside to this, is that you do get a little bit messy. Okay, that is very much like way too much glue there. Okay. Certainly hoping that we don't get any of this wild ass weather that's currently in southern Oklahoma. I feel for y'all. I want you to be safe. Please don't send that our way. Pretty, 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 please. I don't want any of that. No, thank you. Like, there's a dust storm warning out that way. It's a dust storm warning. Visibility warnings or some stuff. Dry thunderstorms moving through. I'm like, oh god. No. 75 or 70-mile-an-hour winds, and I'm like, no thanks. I'm good. I'm good with that. You don't need to share. I promise. I am all good. Okay, so yeah, I did twist more of this color. Probably more than I'm gonna end up using. But that's okay. Alright. It's better to have more than enough than to run short, right? Try to clean up my finger here. Now we're not necessarily done with this color yet because we've got more of it down here. So I don't think we'll be needing him anymore tonight though. You alright?
Mm-hmm.
Sound like you were talking to somebody.
Oh, I was using voice to talk to
Oh. Now this color, I'm like, I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, this one we might actually not have enough of. So we might have to twist some more of that here. Because that one, for some reason, I guess I was thinking I had more than I did. Ready to go. Now that's a color that I did not use on the other project. I was kind of looking at like families shades instead of, you know, every single shade, and I was like, well, it's probably gonna cost me way more money to buy each and every color individually than it was to just kind of grab it, be like, oh yeah, there's like X amount of shades in there. Okay, there's like 3 shades in there that I'm probably gonna use. 2 of those shades I don't know what I'm gonna do with, but you know what? For the price, it's got the other ones, so we'll go with that kind of situation. But we'll see. How all of this pans out. At the very least, we should have enough of it for today. Okay. There's that. Sorry, there was a meeting across the street today. And at least one person rides their motorcycle. So if that came through, sorry about that. They actually kind of left close to when the meeting got out. Sometimes they're all standing out there in the parking lot talking for almost 45 minutes some nights. Okay. All of these guys. And we're gonna have that Mod Podge when we're all done to put all over the top, just to kind of help secure everybody. Just to lock those, like the top layer, into place. I mean, it's really not gonna go anywhere, but you know, if for some reason somebody's decided to be unruly in like the last little bit there, it'll just help make sure that everybody is good and secure, especially if like you missed a spot or what have you. Uh-oh. Old man's getting grumpy. Not entirely sure what he's starting to get uppity about, though. I know it's not weather related. That I can tell you. Oh! Okay, well that just happened. Okay. Old paintbrush, man. Gonna tell you. So here's a question. Do I want to bother taping it into place? I could just grab another one. I have a bunch of old brushes. I could try to glue it back into place, but I'm gonna have to use a different glue than the tacky glue, because when the tacky glue gets wet, it loses its structural integrity, and it does not hold when it encounters water. Which is a good thing to a degree, because I had to scrape a bunch off of that other large project because I wasn't happy with how the water was working out. That is not the original plan I had for the water. And ended up soaking what I had put down and had glued in place with water and used a paint scraper to scrape it off. redid the color key underpainting. And then I was a bit more at peace with it, a bit happier with it. But I had not originally planned for that water on that piece to be that colorful. Okay, and then I need like what, one more, two more. Depends on the size. Now, if you wanted to, you could just like lay the tissue paper out flat in its square form. You could also do that too. But I kind of like the texture that doing it this way creates. But I have like just grabbed bits of it and like scrunched it up to do shrubbies and the like, so can kind of work it into different shapes, if you will. It's got a little bit of versatility to it. Oh, all right. Thank you for the raid. We're working on crocheting an Ikram Banshee from Avatar, Blue People, with the support of Supervisor Bootsy, your cat. Lovely, lovely. Welcome in. Hopefully that project is going well for you. I am Nisey. And we are currently working on a tissue paper art piece on a sunrise here. There's going to be like another layer of plant life silhouetted on top, but I wasn't going to bother painting that in because it's going to get laid on top of everything else. So we'll get that when we get there. But this is what we're currently working on today. We stream Tuesday through Friday. He napped on your lap and then wandered off a few times. He was chill around the yard and say, yeah, mine would not be. They have tried to help me a few times with yarn. In fact, I think they got into one of the boxes that a yarn order had come in that was being held hostage from me because it was a Christmas gift, and pretty sure someone got in there and had their way with at least one ball of yarn. Or while Joann's was still in business, they decided that that ball of yarn was suitable for shipping, but I don't think it quite looked like that when they shipped it. So, it still has all kinds of strings hanging off of it. I haven't worked my way through the entirety of the mess for that particular shade. I also do needle felting with acrylic yarn. We paint sometimes. I'm working on some embroidery projects right now as well. We do a bunch of different stuff. So we try to stream Tuesday through Friday right now. Tuesday and Friday we game. Right now we're doing Dinkum on Tuesday and Planet Zoo on Friday. And then on Wednesday and Thursday we do some arty things. Yesterday we were working on a piece of canvas and we were embroidering onto that. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. So we were working on this yesterday, if I can get it in there. And this is what we're working on today. Sorry, Raid Rumps, you need to sleep. No problem. I get that. You have a good night. Thank you for the raid. Hopefully your stream was lovely. You go have a snuggly sleep with Mr. Boots. Bootsy? Or Mrs. Just says Bootsy, so I don't know if it's male or female. You and Bootsy have a good night. And thank you again. Trying to figure out what piece I want to put in there. Ah. It wasn't quite what I wanted to do there. Kind of shifted on me a bit. We can work with that. All right. We can work with that. I do though. Maybe we'll be okay on that color. I don't know. And this is how much I love this. I might need to do just a little bit more. Maybe we'll wait and see and twist that in that moment if we need more of it. We need to add some more glue to our cup here. For what we have in the cupboard is not enough. I swear this was coming out faster. Hi. Hi, sir. Welcome to the complaints department. How may I assist you? Are you hungry? Are you looking for your second snack roll? Yes? You need another snack roll? Okay, I will forward your complaint. Please go have a seat and take a number. And I will let you know as soon as we're able to handle your complaint. Okay? Thank you. Processing team for the complaints department. A complaint has been issued.
Complaint department here. Ring,
ring. A ticket has been entered. A certain doggo with ticket number 7029 whatevers is stating that his stomach is empty. And this is
like user error.
And this is a travesty.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
He would not listen to reason and has decided that he must make a complaint about this. How dare he not have a second snack roll already waiting? Alright, let me rinse my brush here. I actually need to step away for a second, but I need to put this down in the glue before we do that. Alright. So, get in this
What are you doing, Zuzu?
section. What is he doing? I can't see him.
He's trying to find snacks. Hang on, buddy. Daddy making more dinner.
He's decided that his ticket is taking too long to process and is trying to take matters into his own hands.
Oh, that never ends well.
No, no, it doesn't.
Alright. Daddy making more dinner. Don't forget Mommy's gonna have to hand it out, though.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to wait to get this bit put in here. Because I all sorts of have to pee. So I was going to try to take care of both at the same time. Alright. Again, want to push up, or push against really, and then push down to make sure it's not like losing contact with the rest of the canvas. Okay. I might have enough glue there for contact. Oh, the canvas is kind of loose. Oh well, it's not too bad. Alright. I need to give the dog his second snack roll. I will be right back. I have to also do a quick potty run. Give me like 5-6 minutes. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Had to hand off doggo dinner. Yeah, I'll probably need a little bit more of this when the time comes. Probably. But I guess we'll wait and see that. Alrighty. Just kind of drop in the next section of glue here. Okay. Alrighty, so Doggo got his snack roll and finished it in the time that I ran to the bathroom. I wasn't gone that long. Okay. Whew. Alrighty, let's work on getting this color finished up, getting placed here. Okay. That doesn't look quite long enough. Like, I don't really want to wrap it down the side if I don't really need to. I'm probably going to paint the edge maybe solid black or maybe solid purple. I don't know yet. I was originally thinking maybe solid black just to have a clean edge, but we'll see. Not completely tied to that idea. Okay. Now, if you've got some like edgy fringe little pieces along the edge there that don't want to have anything to do with being laid over the edge, you might need to add just a little bit of glue along the edge there, or if you want to just place it and then add the glue after the fact, or when you go to do the Mod Podge, you don't have to do the Mod Podge, but I do recommend it. It adds a bit of just that final pop to it that I think it needs. you can always use that to kind of get it to sit there. Sorry, the edge of my arm felt wet. It shouldn't. There's no reason for it to. So this guy. I mean, sometimes you'll have like enough residue on your finger or your little like push into place stylus, toothpick, whatever you're using. You can like kind of wipe it off and run it over it. Okay. So, gonna gather up all of these guys here. So that's everybody, right? Yeah. Now we're not completely done with that color either. We'll be making another appearance. Alright, now gonna get a little extra messy here. Now we're gonna jump ahead a little bit. That was probably too much to put down at first for this section. But we're just gonna kind of run with it. Now we're gonna do something a little different. In the big one I did, I just kind of filled in the pieces like straight across for our sun. In this one, we're gonna do a either a flower or a snail shell, however you want to describe it. Hang on. Totally not the time for it to feel like I've got a fuzz in the corner of my eye tapping me. Okay. I don't see it, so either it's my imagination or I managed to get it. So I'm gonna kind of like try to roll this up on itself as tight as I can. I'm gonna squeeze it between my fingers to try to get it to hold the shape. And I'm gonna drop it in here. This is going to get us messy because it's going to try to untwist. Don't worry about getting glue on the surface of it. It's fine. It'll dry clear. It'll all be good. If you're trying to use a traditional sealer on this, though, it might look splotchy. So I don't recommend that. And by splotchy, I mean there might be sections that look darker and other sections that look lighter. And I think that has to do with where the glue may have gotten on the surface of the tissue paper. That's why I was recommending, if you're gonna seal it, to do the Mod Podge. Okay. So now I'm going to attempt and probably make a ginormous mess of it to wrap this around itself. Okay. While that attempts to set up, I'm going to try to get the extra glue off of my fingers here for just a minute. We'll have more back on our fingers soon enough. But it's also giving that a chance to start to set up. It's actually trying to grab onto my toothpick there. All right. So it's not like completely set, but it is starting to be. So I'm probably doing this a little soon. Probably really should have given it another few good minutes. To at least give it a chance to set. But I didn't. Let's see how much that's going to come back to haunt me here in a minute. So this spot you're probably definitely going to want to trim into shorter pieces if all you have is longer pieces. So I am going to kind of make another like circular flower snail shell thing shape here, but I'm going to uncurl it. I am going to uncurl that guy. Because, you know, we're not trying to do a bunch of little circles in there if you really want to. I mean, that's completely and totally up to you. I'm just trying to give it that, like, bent kind of feeling to it here. Trying to encourage it to wrap around. Now, as it gets further out, you probably won't have to trim your shape or your length of your papery twist, or you can just fill it in straight across. That is also very much an option. if you don't want to get that messy. And deal with all of this that's going to be involved, the holding it in place and all of that. You're not necessarily fighting with it, but the way the paper is, it's not going to make it easy. It is doable. I do suggest some practice runs with making the snail flower shell or snail shell flower shape before actually putting it into practice. It can be a little fussy until you're used to working with it. And you're probably going to get glue everywhere. That's just going to be part of it for doing it this way. Again, don't have to do it this way if you choose not to. You totally have the option of laying it in normal like we've got everybody else laid in so far. Okay. And if you are going to do like the circular wraparounds, don't forget to stagger where you are doing your wraparounds if you can. So that way you're not like in the same spot for each layer, each wraparound. Might be able to get one more in there before needing to add some more glue. We'll see. We will see. Uh-oh. That was a Mr. Bean battle cry. That's not good. Why am I hearing a Mr. Bean battle cry? Usually means there's about to be trouble. I now hear Little's growling. We'll see if she decides to be nice or not. She's been mad at him the past couple of weeks, so I'm not sure if they got into a disagreement or what. Okay, so I'm trying not to do a whole lot of glue here. I'm actually trying to keep it kind of light. Just so I can get it to grab a little bit faster. Alright. So again, I'm just gonna kind of come in here and start curving our bit of paper. Trying to get it used to the idea of bending. It might take a little bit of convincing it to stay where you were trying to put it. So don't be too upset if that happens. Like if it does not want to stay. Pretty normal. Just kind of have to be patient. Sorry, I just heard a noise and I don't know what the cats are doing. I don't know if they did something. Sounded like something kind of tumbled, but not really. Don't know what that noise was. Actually, I have a vague idea of what the noise was, but I don't know how it could have been that. No reason for it to be that noise. Let's see. Now, if I had waited until that middle piece had dried a bit more, probably would have had a slightly easier time getting everything else to stick while wrapping around, because then it wouldn't have been sliding everywhere. And then I could have like really leaned into pushing it against the other centerpiece and all. you gonna go there. Alright, so I've got some smaller pieces here. I kind of want something that's gonna be a little bit longer. I mean, I've only got so much in length here, but I don't want the shorter ones at this point. I mean, if that's what I have to work with, that's what I have to work with. But I do know that I've got a few in here that are a little bit longer. So I am going to try to go for those first. All right. After we get this color sorted, then we're going to continue with the circular direction. With this yellow color, dark yellow. Okay. Now, yeah, this guy's pretty decent length here. Now, I mean, it's paper, depending on how tightly you have it twisted. You should be able to convince it to want to curve. Alright, so I think I need, actually, let's go with this one. The smaller one, I think, is going to be just small. Where I want this to... Hey! Hush! You be nice. You don't own the bed. He's allowed to be on the bed. Keep it up and you're gonna lose your privileges up there. I will take away the stool. She thinks she owns the bed. And she's been snapping at the cats whenever they try to jump up there. But she can't get on the bed unless the stool's there. Because she's too short. So she's gonna keep being mean to the catto. It's not just one catto either. She's done it to multiple different cattos. And I don't know why she suddenly started this, we do try to discourage the cats from playing with their tails. But that doesn't mean that she can just be mean because she feels like it. So I think probably one more small layer. Oh, I don't know if I've got enough glue there to actually get you to grip. Since you are wanting to be fussy about it. Might need just the slightest bit more. Just to fill in that last little bit on the edge there. Okay. Gonna need some more glue too. So here's the question that I need to figure out here very quickly. Do I want to fill in this this dark orange first around the sun, or do I just want to do it as I'm coming up on it? I don't know. Because then I don't really have a whole lot of option to like push against other pieces to get it to stay put, you know? So that I don't know what I want to do yet. But I need to hurry up and figure it out. Because we are running out of time to figure that out. Okay, get this glue off my fingers here. Alright, just need to try to clear out my glue nozzle here. Although it looks like it wants to be stubborn here. And it looks like I'm gonna need another toothpick. Unfortunately. Okay. See if we can get some, alright, that's breathing a little bit better. Nothing worse than, your thick glue coming out even slower than it should be. Come on. Okay, so next part is going to be our dark yellow. Will we be completed this tonight? No. No. We won't be done this tonight. Highly doubtful, at least. Because we still have to do the silhouette parts. And we've got a lot of our light orange. Now I might have to add more of this glue. In here. Because it might dry. Or get kind of swallowed up. As we go here. We'll see. Alright, so we're gonna grab this dark yellow. Don't mind the glue on the fingies. That's gonna happen. Alright. It looked weird with the way it was positioned on camera. The purple looked way taller than it should have been. Okay. I'm gonna work on getting this guy kind of wrapped around there. Hopefully it holds. Hopefully. So it is scooping up a little bit more glue as I'm placing it from that outside edge. And you know what? It is what it is. We've got more glue. Not the end of the world. We have to put more down, we have to put more down. Okay. So be careful with your toothpicks, right? Because some of them, they can splinter, they can be split. This one's got a chunk missing out of it, and I'm not too thrilled about that. And that one's not much better. Alright, we'll try this one. Just don't want to get a splinter from them, that's all. Like your biggest concern with that. Okay. So I don't know how many layers of this yellow I'm going to try to do. We don't necessarily have to follow our color key to a T. It's just kind of there as a helper. So we have an idea of where things need to be placed, essentially. Okay. See here, we need a slightly longer one. We can get that kind of wrapped. Whoop. Wrapped around right there. Okay. Like, I don't know if I really want that much of the dark yellow in there. Kind of happy with it like that. Ooh, angry leggy. Whew. That was a very angry hippie all of a sudden. It did not care for how I was sitting. Okay. Now this shape we are pretty much done with, because we're not going to go like super incredibly pick out every highlight kind of detail. You can if you want. I'm just not. Okay. Now. I think I've got enough of this now. Hope I do. Okay. So here's what I want to do. I'm gonna start with this. Right? Because we've got this section in place. This one isn't going anywhere. and we'll kind of figure it out from there, right? Hi. What's that? Hi, Miss Littles. Thought it felt like something hit the bottom of my chair. Miss Littles decided to grace us with her presence. Littles is one of the cats. She's our only female. She doesn't always come in our room very often, since the stinky boys like to be in here. And she very much doesn't care for the stinky boys. That's why they are stinky boys. Essentially. Alright. So we're gonna try to get some of this darker orange established. We're gonna try. Okay. We will see how that's gonna work out. I'm probably just gonna end up making a huge mess of it, but we'll see. All right, let's see. This guy. So that one's gonna be a little bit of a remover there. At least until we get some more pieces worked in there. Again, not a huge issue. And, you know, if we have a large gap appear after we get everybody in place, we can always add a little bit more paper in there. After the fact on top. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of let that set up there. Come back in with a bit more glue. Gonna kind of work some glue in underneath of those little guys there. Just to give them an anchor point, essentially. And I'm gonna start to try to work outwards from here a little bit while we're letting that kind of set up. Excuse me. All right, so this is this color. Okay. And then, it's just kind of filling in this large swath, excuse me, of this lighter, like peachy orange color. So that way these guys have something to kind of lock in around. For the dark orange. This one, I don't necessarily need to cut it, but I'm going to here set that cut piece aside. Just for a moment. And I'm going to grab it again because that space kind of opened up and looked like the perfect slot to put that into. I'm not sure if I want to take this all the way over to the edge yet. I mean, guess we can. Don't think it really matters all that much. Not really. It's gonna have to get done at some point anyway, right? Okay. We kind of have an idea of how this is going to look in the middle now that a lot of that glue is drying there. Just kind of slip that into place. And then this guy. Kind of try to bend him into place. Probably not super happy about it. Meow. What's up, ma'am? Where are you? Oh, you're with Dad. You're with Mr. Man. Hi, ma'am. Just don't drop my chair, okay? That would be inconvenient. Well. Hi. These guys worked into there. Here, now if you have somebody that's loose, you can just kind of retighten them there. Not a huge deal. It's not like some written rule that you can't retighten it. That's just silly. What was that?
So what?
I don't know, it sounded like something metal.
I did shift to pet the cat.
What you got, Littles? She's intently smelling my sweatshirt. Hi, Littles. That's my foot. We'll get this guy. And then that one. And let's see. And I will say some paper, I don't know if it's something to do with the dye that's used or the process in which they had to dye it, but some paper has wildly different texture than others. Like I've got some white that's like crunchy, and then I've got other ones that feel soft. It's kind of wild. The only thing I can picture that would cause that, like different colors to be different textures in that regard, would be either the company that made it having a different process than another company, or, and like that's why it's softer because it's from a different company, or it's something with the dyeing process. Did you take your thing?
Oh, yes.
That.
Oh, that's,
Did I miss something? Okay. What was it that I missed?
tweezers.
Oh, I didn't see them. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
And did you get the coffee?
I have not.
Okay.
Do that.
Don't forget to take some ibuprofen.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that right before I lay down.
Okay. Because I don't think you took any
I took
earlier.
some at dinner.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's probably too soon to take it yet then. I mean, it did say you could take up to 2, but...
Yeah,
Okay. And this guy... worked into here. Alright, so I am trying to like get that packed in there. Sometimes it's easier than others to make that happen. Alright, let's see. Get that one bent around the edge. And this guy. Let's try this piece. Like that's another thing is that I'm like hunting for somebody that's the right size. It's like, are you the size I'm looking for? Like it doesn't necessarily have to drape very far over the edge. And I'm gonna try to clean up that edge. Oh my gosh, I've got all these little glue bits from rubbing it off my fingers everywhere. Alright. We're gonna need some more glue here. Very, very soon. Like more glue in our cuppy. I've got plenty of glue in the house though. I wanted to make sure I was gonna have enough glue and not run out on that big project. So I had like one bottle that was open that I wasn't sure how much glue was in there. Apparently there was a lot more in there than I thought. So I went through that one open bottle. And then like, maybe it was 2 bottles of tacky glue in the end. Or like a bottle and a half. It was way less than I expected. I know that much. I was rather astounded that it wasn't more than what I had gone through. So now I've got like 2 more full bottles sitting here. I'm like, yeah, we should really do some more tissue paper art. Okay. This guy. Worked into there. It's like kind of trying to slant a bit more than I wanted it to. Okay. Need some more of this anyhow. Alright, let's grab this little guy here. He'll work pretty good there. And then I won't have to trim anybody. Because that's helpful. Everybody that I've got right now, they're in this like weird length where if I trim it, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to use the part that I trimmed off. Tell you, it's been getting pretty windy here as the evening has been going on, and the way my allergies have been all day, I'm wondering if it's that dust blowing in from Oklahoma. Because, oh my goodness. Like, it's been a little bit breezy, but it's definitely been getting more noticeable as the day has worn on here. Okay. Like, it feels weird to be doing something quite so circular, but that is kind of how our reference photo is. The reference photo is very circular. Alright, let's get some more glue. Into our little cup guy here. Alright. So this into here. Does she have a cup for in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did more tradition, remember?
I wasn't sure how far you got, because now there's stuff from tonight out there, so...
I did take an ibuprofen now.
Okay. Are you going to bed now?
I'm gonna lay down.
Okay.
My back is a little bit angry, so I'm gonna lay down with an ice pack and...
Alright. Do I need to turn the light off?
Nah.
Okay. Like, I think they're talking about weather for us next week. I haven't checked on it super recently, though. I was kind of hoping that, whatever's going on out there in Oklahoma tonight would run out of steam by the time it got here. We'll see if that ends up being the case. I do wonder, though. Let's see. Let's go to this one. I don't know what that means. That could be smoke, that could be dust, that could be bugs. There's like some green bits in there. I guess it could be maybe a slight shower. But it looks like the storms have kind of calmed down out there. Alright, so nothing really to be concerned about for tonight. Just gonna be a bit windy for us, I guess. You know, I don't even know when high school graduation is. I know it's been weird because I've been seeing like some kids out when it seems like school should have been out for the day. I mean, could have been homeschool kids, maybe. Maybe. There's a lot of homeschool kids around here. And then I was thinking, oh, well, maybe school is done. But no, school bus dropped off this afternoon for our neighbor. So I was like, oh. Okay. So school's not out yet for the year. Fascinating. I don't know when they're doing high school graduation. It might be this weekend. Haven't really been on Facebook, so the only way I know anything about what's going on in this town. Most of the time. I know the last time I was on there, they were starting to try to scramble to get square dancing groups together for the end of the summer. And they do their competition. It seems kind of a shame that they go through all of that just for one competition. at the end of the summer. To be perfectly honest. Is that Ed I hear?
I don't know who was fighting.
Is he still loose?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. So we got this guy here. I'm trying to get to stay. Easier if it would stop sliding. I mean, for sure it would be heaps easier if it would stop sliding, but it's a light guy. So, I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, I suppose I could have put like a little drop of hot glue on the back to give it some feet. But I don't know if that would make it like have a non-stick, not really non-stick, but like a little bit of a grippy on the back. I don't know. Maybe I'll try that on the next one, but I hate pulling out the hot glue gun for something that's gonna take like all of, excuse me, like 3 minutes to do for the amount of time that it's gonna take to heat up the gun and then for it to cool down. And maybe I could try to do it with like a bubble of tacky. Maybe. But I felt like hot glue would pop off easier. Than the tacky. Littles. I think it's Littles growling. But she kind of growls when she plays, and she kind of growls when she's pissed, and I'm not sure which growl in particular this one is. Okay. Try that off. Okay. And you know, it's just more of the same. And dropping in the next bit of paper. So, I mean, it does get a little repetitive. But, you know, any craft is really going to get repetitive at certain parts of it. To get down to it. Like diamond painting gets repetitive because you're picking the thing up, putting it down, picking the thing up, putting it down. Oh, for some reason that kind of felt like there was two stick together there. Turned out to be just one. That's okay. That one needed a retwist anyhow. Okay. So yeah, we're just kind of packing the paper in there. Almost got my finger stuck there. I mean, it was tacky glue. It's not like it would have been stuck terribly. But yeah, my finger's trying to stick. Kind of funny. Now, if it was like super glue, that would not be funny. But that is why we are not using any of the super heavy hitters for this. That would not be wise for as much of it as we were getting all over ourselves. Okay. And this guy. Well, we're trying to get that guy. I've got so much glue layered up on my finger here. Like, I can feel it just sitting there. Especially on my thumb. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we're not doing too bad. We've actually gotten quite a bit done here. Tonight we got that put in, that put in, that put in, that put in. We are doing pretty good here. All things considered. Now, if you're working in a small enough section, you can probably get away with having it a little bit thinner. I just wouldn't go too thin, just to make sure you've got enough work time. Because it's a pain to have to stop and re-add and all that. This guy. And this is just, you know, however much you want your dark orange halo-y bit to kind of extend off of your circle, your sun here. Completely up to you. I mean, yeah, we have a reference inspiration photo, but it doesn't have to be that close of a match to it. And don't be afraid to trim if you have somebody that's just not quite short enough for what you're looking for. It's paper. Trim it. It's fine. It's all good. It's okay. You can tailor this to however you want it to be. Okay. Feel like I've got enough of a foundation in there to push off against here, so a little bit more confident about bringing this orange around. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Paper twist down. Dang it. Wonder how long it'll take me to find that. I have no idea where it went. I mean, it's gonna be covered in dust bunnies now if it landed under the desk. Let's be perfectly honest. We're not gonna be able to really do anything with it, so that piece is dead to us now. Dead to us. What orange piece? What are you talking about? There was an orange piece? It went to the forbidden place. It went to the deep dark under the desk. Alright. Getting this popped into there. And then this guy. Alright, so how do we want to do that? I don't have the larger reference photo open. Kind of just working off the color key here. All right. Oh gosh. So much of this stuck under my nails. I have to cut my nails again here soon. They have started to hit the... Oh my god, these are annoying me. I'm about to break them length. Like, not necessarily on purpose, but I know when they hit a certain point. It's kind of like, forget it. This is the danger zone. They're gonna get snagged on something, smashed on something. Hi! What's up, Beanie Battlecry? Oh no. The late night zoomies have kicked in. You're up past your bedtime. Oh no. That's not so bad. We're kind of seeing the vision, right? It's kind of coming together. Don't you be getting into trouble, Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean, what are you doing?
Starting to look at the window, looks like.
Which window?
The one by my desk.
You have two.
The one with the girl over it. Mr. Beans. I'm desperately looking at that.
Mimi's probably out there.
More than likely.
Morale. Was she in for the night? Yeah. Because she hasn't been saying when she's been going out every time.
Mr. Beans.
Ben. Are you shut?
Get off my keyboard.
Are you shut down?
No.
Ben. Oh, hey, there it is. It was on my leg the whole time.
Mr. Beans.
Bean. Get down. I'm gonna have to go get him, aren't I?
Pretty good odds.
Bean. You were being such a good boy.
No, but he's being a little bugger because now he's chewing on the water bottle.
Mr. Bean, I've got glue down. Could you, like, not get into trouble? For just a few more minutes? Until I get this glue set? Huh?
No can do, mommy.
Is he still chewing on the water bottle?
Yes. And now he's trying to find out Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean! Mr. Bean, I didn't want to put you to bed yet.
You're gonna have to, Mom.
You were so good last night.
There it goes. That's him knocking over the water bottle. You're just gonna have to put him away.
Alright, I will be right back, you guys.
He's chewing on the end of it like a maniac.
Okay, sorry about that. Alright. He actually didn't put up too much of a fuss. Sometimes I have to really scavenger hunt him through the rooms in this house, trying to find him. He must have wanted to go to bed. The other night, he was good as could be. Was it last night? I didn't even know where he was. I found him on my mom's rocking chair. In her room, curled up on it. But it looks like she's still awake, so I guess that's why he wasn't curled up in her chair. There. This guy. And then we're just gonna keep on layering up. Not really layering, just kind of like putting our rows, I guess. Rowing our paper? Oh, that sounds dumb too. That's a little ridiculously long there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to glue that down, I think. But we're gonna need some more glue. We don't have quite enough in our little glue cup here. Let's see. So like as you go, if you just keep adding more and more glue to your cup, he'll eventually be able to like peel it out. And I had one that was like that thick before. Crazy. Of like leftover glue. Or if I like stopped for the day and didn't use everything that was left in there, or just, you know, the stuff that had dried before I could get to it, skinned up. Started to solidify a little too much to be usable kind of situation. Alright. All of this. Worked into here. Okay. So I'm gonna rinse that. Probably put a little too much down there. Well, I was working in sections larger than that on the other one. Just kind of depends on how fast you can work and how fast your glue is trying to dry on you, really. And it comes down to it. Okay. This guy into there. And that guy into there. Alrighty. Nope. Nope. Let go. Just enough residue to start to be sticky on the fingers. So my fingers are trying to like grab everything and not let go. The sticky bandits. Except we don't need tape around here. I mean, we use tape for some things, but not this. And that's for sure. And you kind of squished into there. Try to get you squished in there. Am I actually touching this keyboard tray? Like, my goodness. It's being extra creaky tonight. To be a point of annoyance. Sorry about that. Sometimes the sound registers in my brain to tell me to readjust how I'm sitting. Sometimes I can't help it and it's gonna creak. It's like just slightly crooked. Like just. We thought we had it straight. Apparently it wasn't completely straight, and it's so close to being straight that we can't really fix it because there's not enough space down there to drill a new hole. So I kind of have to deal with it being a little bit creaky there.
It's being in here, Wag.
So,
He's locked up
just a minute. Let's get that. Don't know how much more of that I need to finish this spot here. Alright. I mean, so far it's looking pretty good. I mean, it is a fairly simple one, and that's okay. We'll start to get a bit more depth and pizzazz to it, if you will, when we start to add in the plants and like our grassy bits. Okay. Alrighty. Next bit of paper. This doesn't... All the ones I've been looking at, I'm like, that looks weird. Haven't actually been doubles. I've had some where I've twisted two pieces together and it looked extra chunky. And then I caught it, but everything I keep looking at tonight, I'm like, doesn't look like a single. Has been. Totally has been. Okay. Now I'm trying to use a little bit of our light orange here to kind of give a little bit of extra shaping to the dark orangey bits. Don't necessarily have to. That's gonna be another one of those pesky personal choice things, but we will kind of do that for ours. Nah. Let go. Okay. So, we need some more bitty guys here that I can kind of fold over the edge here. I hate doing the edges. They're so fussy. Right? Like, you don't have to take it over the edge. But it's easier for me to get the front kind of lined up if I take it over just a smidge. Kinda. Kinda little bit. You. Do. Alright. So you, I'm gonna kind of try to slide into there. And you try to slide into there. You know, as best as we can. This guy, we can kind of hang out there. Oh, let go. No, no, glue to the canvas, not our finger. Glue to the canvas, if you would please. Not a terribly large request there. Pretty simple one, in fact. I didn't necessarily have to clip that there. I could have just been patient and came back in with a little bit of glue to set that down, but that's okay. Let's see. So we did start kind of early tonight, and I'm really tired. So I think that we are going to stop there tonight. Stop a little early. But, you know, we have gotten a fair bit done here. I do have a bit of glue in there still. That's all right. I've got plenty of glue. Not a big deal. So, not bad. Not bad. We got this shade of like fuchsia in. We got this lighter purple. We got this like dark coral color. We got our sun in. We got part of the dark orange halo around it in, and we started to get the background of our like light orange peachy skyline popped in. So next time, probably next week, migraine permitting of course, we'll be able to get this other half filled in, and then we'll start to get another round of that popped in, and then our light purple, and then we have that other darky purple to pop into there. I don't know if we'll get to adding the plant life in. next week, or if we'll have to go one more week between adding the plant life, painting the edge, and then throwing on the Mod Podge on top of it all. So we've got possibly 2 more sessions to go, realistically. Realistically, probably 2 more sessions. So that's not too bad for one of these guys compared to the 7-month monstrosity on that 3x4 foot one. So that will do it for tonight. Thank you again to Lynella Crochets for her raid. Don't forget to follow the social, or her raid and her follow actually. Don't forget to follow the socially bits down below. That will take you to the Ko-fi. For those that don't want to donate through Twitch, I also have a gallery posted of all of, well, not all, but a majority of the art projects that we've done. On stream and off. There's a link to Blue Sky and a link to the YouTube channel, where I archive like 99% of the live streams. And then we've also got some art projects that I've uploaded that we didn't stream, along with some games that I've played that were exclusive for the YouTube channel. There is a link also to the eBay store, but I don't have anything posted on the eBay store right now. So, we'll see what happens with this latest round of farmers market stuff. I don't know when we're going. Yeah, I don't know when we're going, so I'm not sure when I'll be posting stuff, but probably after we do that. So, I will see you all tomorrow for Planet Zoo. Not 100% sure on tomorrow's start time. We might go a little early. We'll see. We are working on the cave for our boat ride currently. So, I hope everybody has a good night. And until next time.